For the upcoming 2023 draft, the Detroit Lions once again have two nice looking picks in the first round. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you and showing you with the Detroit Lions 6th pick in the draft, they will be selecting Devon Witherspoon, cornerback out of Illinois if he's available. I also just want to reiterate that with the upcoming draft, the Detroit Lions will not, and I repeat, will not be selecting a QB in the first round. I still see way too many people talking about replacing Goff or the Lions drafting a quarterback in the first round or trading up for the draft a quarterback in the first round. Like it boggles my mind. And if you still don't believe that Goff is the man for Detroit and that he's not bad, then you're never going to change your mind. I'm not going to go on a whole nother rant about it. I have plenty of other videos on it you can go watch, and some of you have probably already watched them and you just won't change your mind, and that's all right. However, if you don't think Goff is the man for Detroit, if you don't think he's at least a bridge quarterback, if you think the Lions need to replace him now in the first round, I think you are a bit crazy, not gonna lie. The only way the Lions will draft a quarterback in the first round is if CJ Stroud or Bryce Young dropped to 6, but that's obviously not gonna happen. But if it did happen, what would you want the Lions to do? If CJ Stroud dropped to number 6 and the Lions were on the board, they could pick CJ Stroud or Devon Witherspoon. Would you pick CJ Stroud? Probably, yeah. I don't know. It's a fun question. It's not gonna happen though, so let's get on to Devon Witherspoon. Pro Football Focus released their mock draft, and at number 1 they had the Colts trading with the Bears and the Colts taking Bryce Young. At number 2, they have the Houston Texans taking Will Levis. For the 3rd pick in the draft, they had the Arizona Cardinals taking defensive tackle Jalen Carter. And for the 4th pick in the draft, the Bears with the Colts pick take edge rusher Will Anderson out of Alabama. And that's why the Colts-Bears trade makes sense, because the Bears want Will Anderson. They're not going to trade with someone that's going to take away their chances of getting Will Anderson. So that's why I wouldn't even be surprised if the Bears just stay at number 1 and take Will Anderson, because they want Will Anderson. It does make sense for the Bears to trade their first round pick, especially to a team like the Colts. The Colts want to hop other teams and get the QB of their choosing, while the Bears get a few extra draft picks with it and still get the guy they want. Now the 5th pick in the draft is where it gets interesting for the Detroit Lions. The Seattle Seahawks are up, and who they take could extremely influence who the Lions have to take. Pro Football Focus has the Seahawks taking edge rusher Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech. I think this selection for the Seahawks, I think it's extremely likely. They need an edge rusher. You can read in the small summary there. That's what the Seahawks have been missing. They've really been missing defense in general, but an edge rusher is really something they would like to have on their team, and it makes sense for them to draft Tyree Wilson. But at the same time, the Seahawks are also in desperate need of a defensive back. They need corners, they need safeties, and Witherspoon will be on the board at 5. If the Seahawks do take Witherspoon, I'll be extremely disappointed. I imagine the Lions will be extremely disappointed. He has incredible talent from what you'll see. I'd be surprised if the Seahawks passed him up. If I were the Seahawks, I would definitely take Witherspoon. So then another interesting conversation the Detroit Lions have to have is it worth trading up to secure Witherspoon? I don't know. But good thing Pro Football Focus has the Seattle Seahawks passing up Witherspoon and taking an edge rusher. Let's get on to the 6th pick in the draft. At number 6, Pro Football Focus has the Detroit Lions with the Rams pick. Thank you, Rams. Taking Devon Witherspoon out of Illinois. Actually, I'm going to make that a partial thank you to the Rams. You could have beat the Seahawks. The Seahawks did not play good in that game. You could have at least beat them and sent this to the playoffs. But, you know, it's all in the past. It doesn't matter. Fuck the past. Head coach Dan Campbell is going to take one look at Witherspoon's tape and demand he be a Detroit Lion. Witherspoon is the feistiest cornerback in the draft, and he got after it in press coverage last season. He only allowed 1 yard from press alignment all year. The Lions ran the 4th most press snaps on defense last season, meaning Witherspoon should feel at home right away. If Pro Football Focus's little caption there didn't sell you on Witherspoon, then let me continue to do the job. Let me reiterate, Witherspoon only allowed 1 yard from press alignment all year. That is insane. Now someone may be thinking, well, he only allowed 1 yard from press alignment all year. That's pretty crazy, but how many times was he actually lined up in press coverage? Well, Devon Witherspoon allowed 1 yard, which is unbelievable, 1 yard on 113 snaps of lining up in press coverage. And it wasn't like Witherspoon played for a college team that had a super easy schedule and they won 100-0 every game. He played for Illinois, coming out of the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten is a pretty solid conference. Sure, I don't think the Big Ten was at its peak performance this season, but all bias aside, because I keep a level of zero bias on this channel and I don't share my opinion because I'm a fair sports analyst. As a Michigan State fan, I think the Big Ten is a very reputable conference, and Illinois had to play tough teams this year. They had to play Purdue. They were 8-6, Iowa 8-5. They almost beat Michigan. They barely lost, as you can see, 19-17, only allowing Michigan to 19 points. And Witherspoon was a huge factor in that. And regarding Witherspoon's school, guess who's also a defensive player coming out of Illinois? Hopefully you guessed it right, it's Kerby Joseph. If the Lions draft Witherspoon, they'll have a first-year rookie cornerback out of Illinois and a second-year safety also out of Illinois. Knowing this also makes me feel a little bit more confident in drafting Witherspoon. When drafting anyone to your NFL team, everyone's always thinking in the back of their head, who's gonna be the bust? Who's not gonna perform up to their expectations? But seeing how well Kerby Joseph played last season makes me confident that Witherspoon will be able to have a solid level of play as well. I mean, obviously he better have a solid level of play if the Lions are gonna draft Witherspoon 6 overall, but I'm saying he won't likely be a bust. Devon Witherspoon and Kerby Joseph are totally different people, totally different players. They both have totally different levels of talent, and talent's a totally another thing by itself. But the key is they were both in the same system. They're both built into a certain mindset. They both learned the same technique. They both played for the same coaches. They both learned the same thing. And if all those things that Kerby Joseph learned and executes, then I imagine it will work for Witherspoon as well, translating into the NFL. The next big reasons why the Detroit Lions should draft Witherspoon is his play style and his mindset. First off, Witherspoon has a Detroit Lions grit. He works hard. He always has tons of energy on the field, and he's always giving it his all. And as you'll see from his highlights, all of his statistics weren't just from his talent. He works extremely hard. He hits extremely hard. Oh my gosh. Some background on Witherspoon was that he was a 0-star recruit out of high school and went to community college for his first semester of college. Witherspoon then worked extremely hard his first semester of college. He got a high enough SAT score to make himself NCAA eligible and was recruited by Illinois and moved. When Witherspoon first got to Illinois, he was instantly put on special teams duty, and he worked extremely hard and worked his way up to a starting cornerback role. But it didn't stop there. Each season, Witherspoon worked harder and harder, and he got better and better. And Witherspoon consistently improved every game. His statistics improved every game, every season, and he looked better and more comfortable on the field every single game. You always gotta love when a player has consistent growth every single year of college, because you just hope that his ceiling is extremely high when he gets to the NFL. And also it shows that they work hard, they have dedication, and that they're going to attempt to improve in every area they can. Some statistics from Witherspoon's most recent season was that he allowed 0 touchdowns, had a 92.5 coverage grade, which is unheard of, 4 interceptions, and had 20 forced incompletions. So his production was just out of this world. I know I already talked about Witherspoon only allowing 1 catch for 1 yard on over 100 snaps of him lining up in press coverage, but his overall statistics were just as good. Witherspoon only allowed 22 receptions for 200 yards on 425 snaps. That means that on average, every time that Witherspoon is lining up on the field, he will allow only half a yard, which is unbelievable. And also, look how hard Witherspoon hits. If this doesn't scream Detroit Lions grit, then I don't know what does. He's a cornerback and he's laying into the running back like nothing. And look at him against Michigan. He's all over the running back. He doesn't just have good coverage skills, but he's insane all-around defender. He's great against the run. He's great at making open field tackles. He rarely misses tackles. I believe he only had a few missed tackles all of last season. In the end, I think there's just no chance that MCDC and Brad Holmes pass up on Devon Witherspoon. I really hope the Lions will be able to take him. Some people are talking about that he'll be available in later rounds, or they're not sold on Witherspoon yet, but I'm 100% sold on Witherspoon, and I want the Lions to take him at 6. I think he won't be left past 10, I don't think. Maybe the Cardinals will take him at 3. The Colts obviously need a quarterback, and I could very well see the Seahawks taking him. If I were a Seahawks fan, I'd definitely want Witherspoon at 5. So all we can do is hope that with the upcoming draft that Witherspoon is available at number 6 and Brad Holm takes him, and I'm like 100% sure that he would. I don't see why he wouldn't take Witherspoon. He played alongside Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph turned out great. I honestly have super high expectations for Witherspoon. I think Devon Witherspoon could be one of the best corners in the league in the upcoming years. But good thing I don't give up my opinion on my channel, and that is going to be the end of this video. If you guys enjoy my content, I would really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And once again, thanks for watching.